Okay, I wanted to create a video just specific to a particular format that we have, and it's something called WordArt. WordArt actually goes a little bit beyond just changing the font of text, where it actually creates kind of an artsy kind of a font to your text. So it goes, again, it goes beyond just a simple, let's say, font change. So to give you kind of an idea of what it looks like, if we go back into the Insert tab here, we have something here called WordArt. And when I click onto that, you can actually see some of the different kind of styles that we have here. So as you can see, we got shadowing kind of look, we've got outline kind of look. So it's something that you wouldn't get by simply just changing your font to some other type of font. It's a font. It's the same font, but it's an artsy mock-up of that font. So, for instance, if I were to choose, let's just say this one right here. All right. So I click, or actually, yeah, I think we'll do this one here. So I click onto that, and you kind of see what you've got here. I'll kind of move this down a little bit here, and you can actually just kind of click into here and type in something like, sunny beaches or something like that. All right. So that type of a look goes beyond what you really kind of see in a normal title. Now, what I like to use this feature for is to kind of replace the original font that we might have in a title with the artsy or this WordArt type modification using the same font, right? Or it could be a different font, doesn't really matter what it is. You can see here when I click onto this and go back into Home, the font that we're using right now is the Times New Roman. Now I can go in here and select that and change that from the Times New Roman. I can make it Calibri, right? And it's going to look, a little bit different, but that's what we have. Now if we select the frame of this, all right, and then go up into the shape format, click on that, this whole thing is dedicated to this. So you can see on here we've got like this, like a orange kind of an outline to it with the white middle. Well, we get that from, we go over here to right here, and this is going to be the fill. So this would be what color. So right now, like I said, we got more of a lighter color. We can go in there, we can kind of change it to anything else that you want, see? So we're going to make it more, something like that, see? And then I can go over here, and this is going to be the outline of it. And on here, we can maybe make this black, see? And as you can see, that makes it pretty good. And you can also change the thickness of it. You can make it, whatever you want in here. So you can do something, like that. So that's pretty much it. So what I would like to do is get this look to replace what I have for my titles on all my slides. It's not going to say sunny beaches. It's going to be that style, that look, that artsy look that you have there for each of the text items that are on there, right? So how do we go about doing this? Well, you saw in a previous video how we'd gone into the master slide area to kind of change, the formatting for various layouts that we have, right? So what we're going to be going in there and doing is in essence changing the titling so that the title and content slide layouts, which is what all of these slides are based on, will have that type of a look, all right? So how do we go about doing that? Well, first of all, and let me just back up too. You could, if you wanted to, just go in there and convert each one, going to each one of these slides and converting the title there. But by doing it through the master slide, you're going to be able to do this much quicker, right? I mean, you're going to basically be doing one slide, and it's going to affect all your slides. Whether you have 50 slides, 100 slides, or 200 slides, all of them will have that change, right? Okay, so now this is going to be a little tricky, but what we need to do is go to our big kahuna up here of master slides. Now, by changing the title towards a WordArt type title here, okay, by doing it here, it affects then all of the other master layouts, okay, for the title. Okay, they'll all be the same. Now, why do it that way? Because, well, Otherwise, I would have to go to each one of these and do what I'm about to show you for each one. If I just do it here on the big kahuna here, then it transcends all those other slides. Now, this is a tricky little thing to do, okay? So watch very carefully what we're going to do here. So first of all, I'm going to go back into Insert. So while I'm in here, go to Insert. I'm going to go over here to WordArt. I'm going to pick the WordArt that I would like. I think we were working with this one here, so I'll click onto that. And I'll pull this down a little bit so we can see it better. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is, while I've got it selected, I'm going to go back into Home, and I'm going to change my font to, let's say, Calibri. All right, nice, clean-looking font there. So we'll do that. I'll also make it just a tad bigger. So I'll hit my big A there, and that'll bring it up to maybe 60. All right. The other thing is that I want the inner part of the font here, the white color there, I want to change that to being maybe somewhere closer to some color like this here. So what I'll do is I'll go to the shape format. I'll go over here to my little text fill, click onto that, and then I can go ahead and I can kind of just hover over some of these and see which one would maybe come closest to what I want. Maybe a little bit darker, maybe something like that. All right. So I want that. And then the outline of it, which is what we get from here right now, is it kind of looks like a little orangish color, maybe a little bit more red, something maybe like that. Okay. So now the thing is that I need to get this type of formatting, this WordArt formatting on here in the Click To. So if you're kind of familiar with the program a little bit, you know that when you start a new slide, it's always going to have at the top, click to add your text or whatever. That's what we see at the top there. So what we're going to have to do is format that text up there to be WordArt type formatting. Well, the problem is that you can't just select that text up there, the sample text, go back into, let's say, Insert, and do your WordArt, because that just makes a WordArt box here. So we have to kind of think further ahead here and say to ourselves, okay, how about if we were to take this text here, all right, be anywhere in there, go back into the Home tab and use our little Format Painter. And actually what the Format Painter does is it takes the formatting of wherever you're at and applies it to wherever you select over here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of click anywhere in here, click on the Format Painter, all right, and then go to here and just kind of click onto that spot right there. Now once we've done that, we click away from it, look at that. That is how it's done. As of today, I know of nobody out there on the internet, YouTube or whatever, that has come up with this idea here. All right, I mean, anything I've read out there, they've said, oh, it's impossible to do, you can't do it, blah blah blah. Well, here it's done. All right. Now by doing it there, now once we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get rid of this here now. All right. So delete that. Now you can see if I go to any of these other slide layouts, right? Same formatting there. All right. That's pretty cool. Pretty good size there. Now, the thing that also too, what we could also maybe do is maybe bring this down just a little bit. Okay, maybe I'll go down to maybe 58 on this. So I'll just hit the enter key on that. And now I can click away from it. A little bit smaller. It makes these smaller as well. All right, they're down to 58 as well. So I think that's good. All right. Now you might sit there and say, Chip, your choice of coloring is horrid. I claim not to be any kind of an artist. My creative skills are basically about -1. So anyway, but I like to show you the tools, and then you can use your abilities and come up with some pretty cool stuff there. But there we go. Okay, so now once we've done that, then all we have to do is go ahead and we'll go back to Slide Master here, and we'll click on to close the master view, and there we go. So now all of our slides now have that new look. And as I was saying in the beginning, this WordArt look is adding to what the format or whatever the font is. So it's not necessarily the font that's driving this, but it's the artsy properties of this WordArt that are making it go one step further. So this is pretty cool, pretty nice thing there, and you know, it's very unique looking, and you could pick any font that you want and really kind of change it up where a lot of people are going to notice it. But again, that looks pretty good. So hopefully this is something that maybe you guys can use. I think the WordArt is a good little tool there for making your title stand out. You can use it on regular text as well. You can create little blocks of text anywhere on your slides and put the WordArt in there. But I thought this was a pretty good application for it. So hopefully you enjoyed this. I appreciate you watching the video. Take care.